Yes, India have made it to the moon.
They have.
They've made it to the moon.
Historic day.
Ready to go set up a corner shop somewhere.
Do you reckon you can try to pronounce what the rocket's called?
Fuck it, something Apollo 13 something. I don't know. Chandari.
Is that a direct translation?
Chandari 3 or something like that.
Chandrayaan 3, I'm going to go with.
The south pole of the moon as well. I mean, because it's got fucking poles on it now as well.
I mean, I didn't even know there was a top and a bottom.
I just knew it was the light side and dark side of the moon.
Big old
So,
circle.
yes, it's a historical moment. India has made it to the moon. Actually, one of their rockets has landed. Didn't Russia's one blow up the other day?
I don't know, did it?
I'm pretty sure I heard the news that the Russian one blew up.
Interesting.
So, actually, it's pretty amazing. Although, I've seen better CGI in the original Toy Story films.
The original Toy Story. It's kind of weird because we're in 2023. I think I just assumed that every major country had rocket power to get to the moon.
Someone's done it. Yeah.
I just assumed every country had been to the moon by now.
Who videoed that landing though?
The US astronauts.
The USS. Was it the ISS? And International Space Station? I mean, like, come on. I mean, yeah, okay, well done, great, but where the fuck did they get? Who landed the camera first, then went back up and landed that thing?
Do you know what's weird as well? Like, India of all countries. Like, why though? Why do they want to go to the moon?
I don't know.
I mean, I get for like scientific history and all this
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah, of course. Like, to say that we're one of the people that were there, and the Russians have done it, Americans have done it, we've done it.
Wouldn't it make more sense for them to put their money in
Europe,
put their money and resources for science into something more worthwhile than just going to the moon to say we did it as well?
What, maybe investing in toilets and better like phone lines and actually stopping the scans.
I was thinking like cancer research for sure.
Let me see. We got fucking major like human resource problems.
Yeah.
Who took the photos? Like, come on, that's gonna have to go back to our UFO thing.
You shouting conspiracy theory, right?
200%, man. Like, and recent. There we go. Yes, so the recent Russian. It's actually not that far from where the Russian crash was. No. Maybe the Russians recorded it then.
Maybe they did.
Maybe they're trapped there and they're
like, help us.
Help us.
We'll record it if you help us.
like, please help us. We know we just done wrong.
Please take us home.
Yeah, like, okay, cool. Well done, India. I'm actually quite impressed.
It's quite an impressive feat.
Yeah, massive. But who took the videos?
I mean, that's a good question.
I really want to know who took the photos.
You would assume some unmanned drone, I guess, but like
someone just quickly like dropped in an iPod and tripod.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't get over the fact that it's kind of weird because obviously they show the shuttle landing, but that's obviously not the first shuttle that landed because there's obviously something.
Unless that shuttle got a really long selfie stick.
It's a massive one. Yeah, it's weird though. I just don't really understand why. Well, what's the point?
Yeah.
Like that must have cost. I mean, obviously, I don't.
£10.
I don't know how much Indian money is converted.
I've seen better Roblox graphics.
But like that must have cost millions, maybe billions of if you convert it into British pounds or whatever, like millions of billions of pounds.
Yeah, I don't know what this would cost.
I don't really understand the point, or like the need for them to go to the moon. Other than just to say we did it too.
Great success.
No, it's Borat's from India.
No, it's not. Like, oh wow, okay. So India's latest moon mission sends first photos. The race to unveil the mysterious moon south pole. So what they're going to do? They're obviously going to get out. Are they going to get? I doubt they'll get out. I doubt they'll get out.
Basically, the whole point was just to see what's there.
See what gets
on the
there.
south pole of the moon.
Nothing.
I would assume the same as everywhere else on the moon.
Dust.
Nothing.
Just.
Can you imagine if
Buzz Aldrin's boot, are we?
Just imagine if the Indians go to the moon. They go to the South Pole and they're the ones that then discover like an alien civilization just on the South Pole of the moon the whole time.
And they come back and they bring something back with them.
Yeah.
Like China.
Like what, they bring back China?
Like some like COVID-21 or something, I don't know.
COVID-23 from the moon.
But it's like, yeah, I don't know what the race. I think the race was to obviously beat Russia, and obviously us again. I mean, we've kind of exhausted our meaning to go to a moon now. We know it's just a rock that basically has something to do with our tide and helps us sleep. I mean, we've got like, did you hear about the rover found dried ground on Mars which indicates that was like rivers. So like
it was like a river.
Yeah, it was a riverbed. You see it, you hear that. Like that's a major discovery. Like we went to the. Unless we're going to put solar panels on the moon and start harvesting the energy and making moon people, then fine. But I don't think that's going to happen.
No,
I don't want to get up there and find that there's a 7-Eleven or like a Premier Inn like corner shop built on the fucking South Pole.
Imagine that, a corner shop on the moon.
Get up there, it's just like a whole like Indian like relations up there. There's a whole like town.
It's like St Mary's up there. It's quite a niche reference for anyone who doesn't know this like specific area of Southampton.
In London.
There you go.
It's just like like the live simulation of the landing was shown on big screen. I mean, there's obviously CG. It's obviously like animated. Like, but why did you do that of it landing?
Wait, the live simulation of the landing. So that wasn't actually.
No, it's not the real thing. So like, that's what I'm saying. Like, but why would you do that? Did they have it planned? Did they have this live simulation planned if it was to explode as well? Would they have an animation for that, or would it just go game over?
I can't tell if when they say live simulation, if they mean the whole thing CGI, or if they mean they landed once and then just did a second one come down and filmed that as the pretend first one.
This is probably all done on like that Space Simulator game.
Space Simulator 23 or something.
What was that game with those 23. Little things that used to go around on?
Oh, like Kerbal Space
Program? This is Kerbal Space Program. This is what this is. Okay, yeah. Wow, like. So is it actually real then?
So I think the whole point of this is they're saying that no other country's actually been able to reach the South Pole of the moon. Like other countries have tried and failed. Obviously, Russia was the only one that seemingly has actually failed.
But how do we know if it made it then, if that's a live simulated video?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? So it's like, I guess the whole point is that they did it. They got to the South Pole first. But it's like, why though? Because it seems like there's nothing there.
Please, can we spend our money on other things?
Like, surely cancer research is more important, right?
And dealing with all your scammer call centres.
I mean, that is also
you've got major cyber problems out there. Nope, we're going to the moon.
Go to the moon, fuck them.
Oh, so that concludes it for that one.
Interesting.
Not really much more to say to that. I mean, us Brits, we don't really see massive potential in it.
It all just seems a little bit sort of like,
It's it's other countries' problems in my eyes. Like we've got Elon Musk in America who's dealing with it. We've got Sir Richard Branson's doing the old hotel in space, isn't he?
Oh, he's been doing that for ages.
Yeah, he's been doing that for like 20 years.
I don't even know what's happening with that.
No, I think that's probably been put on hold. I think he's in deep shit.
Is he?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm just chatting shit.
Oh.
I'm just speculating. I mean, I don't think he done very well through COVID because obviously the his airliner company went fumbling, didn't it? Because obviously he had to lay everyone off and they got bad publicity because he had to lay everyone off.
No idea.
So, like we normally leave this part to other, like Russia and India, to be honest, China, where's China doing it? Come on, if they can make fucking like 35,000 electric cars and just dump them in a field somewhere, can't they spend their resource on go to the moon?
Imagine sort of space travel China could make.
I'd be phenomenal.
They'd be flying between galaxies.
They would probably be meeting other worlds.
Other races.
No, it would be, yeah. They'd probably be up there. They'd probably meet the squid people and all that.
The squid people?
Oh, fuck no. But yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, okay, well done, India. Like, I don't really see the point of it. It was a live simulation video as well. Like, why?
I mean, yeah, good job for doing it, but...
I mean, you couldn't even get the CGI good for it.
What was the point other than just to do it?
And did they actually even do it?
Wow, that's another question entirely. Did they spend $3 billion on a CGI firm to make the video?
And then just stand there in their control centre, and go, woo!
Woo woo.
Chicken tikka for everyone.
Oh, God.
So, obviously, as a lot of you got made aware that Andrew Tate actually got his charges blown out, didn't they? They didn't actually happen, did they?
It seems a little bit weird at the moment because it seems as if they have released him. However, it seems like they're kind of still going ahead with putting him on trial, which is weird.
But with no evidence, I think they found that the charges were like missable, weren't they, or something?
Yeah,
like,
I think some of them were missable.
Something's not tying up with him.
It's odd that they held him for like, what was it, a month or so, 2 months? I can't remember.
They held him a while, didn't they?
Held him, then they released him, but then they're apparently still going to trial him. It seems a bit odd.
But yeah, so details of graphic evidence compiled by the Romanian prosecutors alleging that Andrew Tate has been into his sexual acts.
Yeah, I mean, I think my favourite quote
have been
of this
seen
whole
by
thing,
the BBC. What?
I don't know if you've seen the quote by his brother Tristan yet, but he said the words specifically that they're going to slave these bitches. Without context, I'm not entirely sure what that means, but
I mean, it has a 300-page report and testimony and evidence has been seen by the BBC, provided a rare glimpse into the pre-trial prosecution case against Andrew Tate. Okay, 300 pages. I mean, if we just get a 300-page book out, don't have one, it's probably about that.
Yes.
And this man's still running around saying that he's innocent. There it is, slave these bitches. Wow. So, prosecutors say access to the money made on the OnlyFans site was controlled by Georgina Nagel, imagining one of Andrew Tate's 2 Romanian co-defenders. She'd pay the women in the OnlyFans video sums of money each month without revealing the total income had been earned, prosecutors allege. So, again, oh shit. So somewhere around the €4,000 mark.
So the general idea of this is they were kind of forcing these women into doing OnlyFans, pocketing most of the profits and giving them like a small sliver of the money, was it?
Yeah. So this apparently resulted in one of the women owing €4,000 in debts. And the lawyer for the 2 defendants said he denied allegations. Fucking hell. So there is a paper trail then.
Yeah. I mean, was that quote up there that they apparently told the women, or somebody said about the women with their own accounts, I don't want them to have the passwords, I don't want them to have anything. Doesn't sound ideal, does it?
Okay. So, okay, right. I'm on a kind of a fence line here with Andrew Tate and obviously the whole prosecution thing. I always have been. My partner doesn't actually agree with him.
Yeah, I don't think
I think a lot of women don't agree with him.
No.
And I've kind of held that reserve. I've never actually said, oh yeah, he's king, he's slay, everything.
All that stuff. He's the, what is it they call him, top G or something? Right?
Top G, that's it. Never thought of him as a top G. I've just always enjoyed the memes and the videos.
Yeah, I kind of in the same boat a little bit.
The piss take of it.
When
but
you actually
in all seriousness.
Yeah. I mean, when you actually see him in interviews, he does come across like an absolute bellend. But also he comes across as someone who's kind of portraying a character as well, like a bellend character.
I think he's like a main character in the game.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's a bit of a weird situation. No,
yeah, I don't know what to say to that because at the same time, it's a man that keeps coming forward to the cameras and about, I'm innocent. There's nothing to talk about. And the very same for Tristan Tate. Is it Tristan Tate?
Tristan, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same for him as well. Because I do think, why are you denying it when there's obviously a paper trail and there's we've got statements and words that have been said from obviously witnesses now that you've got, and there's a £300 an actual £300 file, 300-page file that's on these 2. I mean, is it the Matrix?
Well,
as he calls it, or is it true?
I mean, there is a quote here I've just read as you were speaking, where I'm not entirely sure who said this. I don't know if it was Andrew Tate or his brother, but they said, "I'm going to make them work even more and more hours. I work these bitches like slaves."
A minimum of 10 to 15 hours a day.
That's not exactly humane conditions.
No, that's not humane conditions. I mean, shit, that stuff gets hot.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very interested. I'd like to see what more comes on this.
I mean, I think the thing that's interesting is that I think because of the type of character Andrew Tate is, I think he kind of plays into that bit, and everyone's a little bit like, either everyone already hated him anyway, or all the people that liked him are kind of like, yeah, he's just like that anyway, fuck it. So it's almost like no one's really changed their opinion.
So what you're saying then is everyone just says it's just the normal of Andrew Tate.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
I don't think
that's just the norm, and we should just accept that's how it is.
It's like I don't think anyone's surprised that this has happened and it's him that's involved in it, because it's like, well, of course.
I get what you're saying with that. I can agree because he's built this image of himself. He's built this empire of himself. He's got videos. I mean, the money the 2 have got is phenomenal. I mean, we've all seen the famous video of him saying, "Oh, I just borrowed something." And he goes, "Oh, I've just dropped you something like 100,000."
Yeah.
You think, how can you just drop that into someone's account? That's just some stupid amount of money.
It's some stupid life-changing amount that you're not even gonna miss.
They're both never gonna miss. I mean, there's got to be a paper trail. I mean, to obviously move that amount of cash, you have to be electronic anyway nowadays.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd all have to be walking around with armed guards everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest issue people have got at the moment with trying to trial him and his brother, and obviously the 2 co-defendants as well, is that it seems as if there's quite a lot of evidence about what happened, in the sense that they were kind of restricting access to these OnlyFans accounts and taking most of the money. But there's not a whole lot of evidence as to whether they actually forced these girls into it or not.
No.
I think that's where the law's kind of struggling a little bit.
Well, if that's the case, then they need to get these witnesses to obviously clearly testify that they were obviously trapped.
Yeah,
but if they've got no proof of entrapment and they were always free to technically leave,
yeah, it seems a little bit like their word against.
Then it seems like that it was employment, but it was unfair employment.
Yeah, definitely.
So they could probably only be done by the lines of like employment laws.
Definitely sounds like unfair employment.
No, exactly. I mean, it's not like the most recent thing that we've seen on one of the news of one of the women being rescued by police and they got chains around the neck. You know, that's a completely different thing that we're talking about. That's literally like someone entrapped.
Yeah.
So this is what you might be making sense on to a degree, is that they've got him, but they haven't got him.
Yeah.
They've got him on some factors, but they've got him on different counts of different
they've kind of got him on what he's kind of done.
It's like, I didn't realise, and this is going to be going off subject, but it's going to show how like ridiculous our laws in this country. If you're to walk out of a supermarket with a basket or a trolley full of food, and they stop you to ask to search that trolley, apparently they have every right to search because it's their product and the trolley is their own. However, you have already bought products and it is in there mixed with what you could potentially have stolen, so they do not technically have right to look at your own property.
Yeah, it's a bit of a grey area.
That is a grey area. So this is what this could be falling into, was the fact that he was sexually enslaving these women, but they were free to always go.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an odd one, isn't it?
So there could be that factor.
I think they're really struggling to prove whether it was actual enslavement or not.
I mean, I think OnlyFans have laws as well in place, don't they, between images and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but if they were always the owner of the account and it was the women working for the account, then technically the account's the one that has the ownership of those images.
Yeah, I think what they're trying to get at, the police, is that the accounts are registered under the girls' names.
That's right.
But they were kind of restrict Andrew Tate and his posse or whatever, his organised crime unit, where
they're the ones that restrict the movement.
Yeah, they were restricting access to the girls getting to their own accounts.
But if they've never got physical like evidence of that,
that's the thing. How do you even prove that?
Then it's not them that are innocent. It'll be those women that will be prosecuted.
Yeah.
There's no unless you've got physical voice record. This is what I'm saying. This is a very great. I personally think he'll be made to work. He'll be allowed to walk.
Yeah, I think he will. I don't think there's really enough evidence.
All that this is doing is this is going to tarnish his like persona,
like his personal brand.
This is just going to destroy. I
don't even know if it will.
Well, I tell you what, I don't see a lot of him now.
No, he hasn't really
TikTok's
popped up
algorithm has managed to, I think, work him out.
Yeah, they definitely have. He's definitely gone very.
I remember one of our videos we put up about Andrew Tate.
That was the first video that ever got pulled down.
They pulled that down. They took it away, and it was only until we had to do an approve,
I can't remember what the word is.
Appeal.
That was it. Yeah.
They actually had released it, but because you do that, it messes the algorithm. Yeah. Because obviously TikTok.
And then you call the views on it.
They then pull the reviews on. Yeah, they pull the views on it, and this will probably be the same again with this episode. And anything mentioned of Andrew Tate, they pull the plug, even if it's a good or bad thing you talk about him.
Yeah, it's definitely I think a lot of his followers as well are of the mindset where, let's face it, he does prey on weak-minded men who want like a man figure to look at.
Well, you can pay for his courses, can't you?
Yeah,
you know, we spoke about that.
And I mean, a few of the people I know who follow him are kind of in the mindset of like, women are the problem, all this. So they're going to be behind him anyway. So
of course they are.
Yeah, fuck women. Like that's what their opinion is going to be anyway.
You know, whereas I'm on the fence here because at the same time it's like, well, hang on a minute, you've committed a crime. There can always be that persona of a person. You can always be that person. You could be like, you know, like that, you know. But at the same time, you could do it without committing a crime. Like, and if you have been doing this with women, you're committing a crime. Like you're literally using them for you to make money. Like.
Yeah.
It's just basically like having a bear at a circus, isn't it, really?
I guess so.
You really are committing a crime there, and no matter what you do, no matter how you do it, there's always going to be a public eye that are going to find it offensive and hurtful.
Yeah, that's very true.
So
it's going to be interesting to see what comes of it, and it's kind of interesting to see that there's even any news on this whole thing.
Now, if he made his money through crypto, he's committed no crime, and if if actually he'd evaded tax by not doing that through his crypto, to me, he has technically committed no crime, even though it's fraudulent laws that you're breaking because tax. I don't believe in all that. But, that's what I'm saying. But because he's actually, we've got it here, it's like whether the BBC or whatever is making it against him and he called it the Matrix, whatever. At the same time, go through the process. If you are innocent, you will be proven innocent. And that's just the way it is, unfortunately. And the way I see it is you are innocent till proven guilty. But to a lot of people, you're written off straight away.
Yeah, you are.
You're guilty till proven innocent. And I think what this has done is it's just obviously going to ruin his career.
Yeah, I think
it's not really a career, is it?
I don't think his followers are going to mind too much, but I do think a lot of places like TikTok, like you mentioned, are going to nuke him getting seen. YouTube are probably going to stop him getting seen, so that's not going to help.
Yeah, I think Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and all that really did pull a plug on that.
Yeah, I think they did, yeah.
And obviously, he's like a massive thing now. They're even like banning it in schools, aren't they? Like, you can't talk about it. You can't. Yeah. I mean, fair enough. I mean, if he's influenced a 14-year-old's mind already about how to be aggressive and horrible to a female, then fair enough. Yes, you've got to undo that damage.
Yeah,
but at the same time, his videos have actually never really portrayed him to come across like that.
No, it's quite odd, isn't it?
It's quite, like you said, an easily targeted individual.
I think because he does tend to target, these sort of weak-minded individuals, sort of like these men, it is a little bit like he's kind of manipulating them, or a lot like he's manipulating them, and I think that's where a lot of the controversy comes from.
And the worst bit about it is this would be the type of person that would say they agree with equal rights, but at the same time, he'll then turn around and go, actually, no, a woman should be in the kitchen. So, you're never fucking winning with this man.
No.
How many days ago was it now?
Been like last week, wasn't it?
Must have been last week. So, yes, we're probably late to the show on this.
Yeah, we might be a little bit late to the party on this bit of news.
Bit of show, but very late. IShowSpeed had an accident during the week, or last week even. Now I can't actually get the days lined up because we've got 3 days ago, and then we've got 6 days ago.
Yeah, I mean, I first heard about this. What was it? Thursday last week, maybe.
Be Thursday,
something
last
like
week,
that.
Yeah. So yes, the famous YouTuber had a bit of an accident on screen. He did unfortunately show his private genitals to the world of his fans. Whilst doing a live, whilst playing Friday Night with, is it Friday Night with Freddy?
Five Nights at Freddy's?
Five Nights at Freddy, that's it, that's the game. Never played it.
No, I've never played it.
Don't even know what it is. So, yes, and it has been made abundantly clear that people need to stop tagging him in certain videos on TikTok, as it is going to get pulled down pretty much.
Yeah, it does seem a tad unfortunate that his name has been rebranded by fans to IShowMeat. Which isn't
and people have been tagging it in his live streams and everything like that. And it's actually quite heartbreaking to see. I mean, I honestly thought it was going to be the end of him because I believe this is meant to be his third thing he's done.
Yeah, I think he's done quite a few things where people have said that this should be a strike, and people are saying he's had like 6 or 7 situations.
Yes, whereas YouTube have confirmed that this is his third strike, I think, that they've had on his account.
Yeah, but I don't think they're actually classing it as a strike.
He did pull it down pretty quick. He pulled it down pretty quick. I mean, obviously not his parents. I mean, he pulled down the live stream pretty quick. No pun intended there.
It does seem from everything we've heard and seen that it was an accident. He didn't just whip his cock out on camera and start slapping the phone with it or slapping it on the table. Do you know what I mean?
I am going to say this. Why is he never dressed during his life?
I don't know why it came out so easy either. Like, why?
Can someone please answer these 2 questions?
I mean,
why is he always naked?
I mean, if he's shirtless, whatever. But why did his cock come out so easily?
How did it come out between those splits in those boxers? Because I can tell you now, those splits in those boxers are not easy.
You got to go around and bend.
No one uses them. Like us men do not use them because they are pointless and. I just don't know, are they there for air circulation now, or...
Yeah, I don't really know, to be honest.
I mean, what's he, 18 years old?
I'm not really sure, to be honest.
19 years old.
He must be around that 18 to 20.
He is young age. It's starting to make me think that, is he doing this for a laugh?
Yeah.
People are recording these live streams, like screen recording them. So, like, any hiccup this boy does, or anyone in any way, people could be saving our videos now. They could be recording us for any hiccup we say, and they use it 18 years down the line. They go, ow.
Absolutely cancel
remember,
us.
Tom was a racist, or Tom said this. And
do you remember racist old Tom from back in the day?
That's what I'm saying. I get cancelled, and then, you're, still going.
Yeah.
But that's what they do, there's these things in the world. And, people used to even video record, news back in, the 60s and 70s, even earlier. Yeah. Even on the radios, they used to record this. So, please, these two questions are concerning. He's either really hot when he's doing his streaming, so he's pretty much butt ball naked, but he's got his boxers on. And two, what was that doing out?
Yes, that is the main question.
It's very sus.
I don't really understand how it comes out that easily.
No.
And if I knew I was recording myself live,
I'd make sure that was strapped right in
to thousands of people as well. I would not be so easily letting it fall out of my shorts.
I would make sure that thing is strapped down in there. I wouldn't want that out.
I'd be self-conscious of how my hair looks.
It just goes to show how quick the internet grabbed with each other. They were literally measuring this thing with a screen with other equipment in the room.
Yeah, I saw people saying that. They were taking photos of his microphone, getting the brand and the measurements of it, and then comparing that to how big his cock would have been. And
the internet, when it comes together, the internet does not fail me. No. I absolutely love the internet.
A powerful force.
But the point of this as well is that there are trolls that follow this, and he did make a video afterwards of people coming up on his live saying it. Please, let's not troll the boy into a suicide. Yeah. Let's leave this alone now. But at the same time, YouTube have done their action. They said it was an accident. He pulled it down. Not his trousers. He's pulled down the video. It's been removed, and they've given him a final strike. This lad is not going to be leaving YouTube, Twitch, or whatever he is on at any point, anytime soon, because of his fan base.
He definitely makes them a fair bit of money.
A lot of people say that he is the saviour of YouTube. I mean, I don't watch. I've never watched him. I don't watch him. You've actually seen him in person.
I've seen him in person. I've seen him play football.
You've seen him play football, and you've seen him shockingly shit.
He was fucking dreadful at football, and he was an absolute twat on the pitch as well. He was just kind of running around showing off, trying to make it all about himself. But that's kind of his character. So what do you expect?
Yeah, basically.
But no, I think because he's so young as well, and he's obviously grown up doing this sort of stuff. I feel like he's the sort of guy that doesn't really have any sort of a lot of us kind of are wary a lot of the time of what the outside world's thinking of us.
He has no risk. He has no fear.
But I don't think he has that fear of what the outside world's thinking of him. So I can understand why he sat there with his cock almost out without really thinking about it.
Because let's think about it. When you log in every morning, you see, I don't know, if you've got, say, 80 million subscribers. You don't physically know every single one.
No, that's a good point as well. It does kind of make it a little bit intangible.
Yeah, he had his fan base. Whether it's, I'm just saying, for instance, I actually don't even know much about him. If let's just say it's 80 million subscribers, he doesn't know all 80 million of us. How many of those are not police? How many of those are not federal? How many of those? I mean, I'm not imagining that there's going to be a 65-year-old man that works in the FBI that watches him, but there will be.
There might be one or two.
There will be one. And it's not because they're watching him because they want to watch him. It's the fact that they have to watch him.
Yes, I'm sure they're probably told.
So any hiccup this lad makes, he's gone. Literally, and whether or not it's a law or so. A lot of people say the internet doesn't have law. No, it doesn't have a law at all, actually. The internet is quite a free place, if you think about it. But it's when it's in your state or in your country.
Yeah, of course.
Then it's
when you do it in that place, regardless of where it was recorded.
So if he does something like this again, I imagine he is pretty much ready to be arrested, prosecuted.
It does make you wonder if he's actually going to now be careful after all this, or if he's even going to take it seriously.
I mean, I know his last live stream. He was actually quite quiet sitting there. I was watching. I did watch that because I did watch the results for that. I did watch what's your behaviour like after that? And he was kind of really dead, and then
quite docile.
But if you went in the comment section, it was just all there hashtag IShowMe. It was just everything was in there.
I think the thing as well with someone like Speed is because of his personality, because he's quite I don't know if the word aggressive is the right word, but he's quite sort of purposely annoying.
He bounces back,
and he's quite purposely sort of like energetic and
a
bit aggressive with how his personality is. But he's a bit of a for lack of a better, he's a bit of a dick. But that's kind of his character.
But he's always shown like a tough side.
But I think the problem with that is that then also means his audience probably aren't that sympathetic when he does something wrong.
Good God, no, they're not.
They're probably more like him. They're going to be like, oh, what twat.
Of course they are. Of course they are. They're just going to be like, oh, look, I show me.
Yeah.
They're just going to be like, he doesn't find it funny.
No.
But to like, when I don't find him funny, where do you stop?
Yeah.
Like, just because I don't find you funny doesn't mean I should comment on every video going, I think you're shit. You know, like, he would be like that.
I think it also means that some people that already didn't like him and they're going to jump on the bandwagon and trying to tear him down.
Of course they are. I imagine there's probably a petition made within hours.
Oh, I bet there was what's that fundraiser website called? The people always do it. Not fundraiser, but the
Change.org.
Change.org.
I bet there was a couple of those on there.
I bet there were a few on there.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Like, you know, so I just thought it was an interesting article to talk about because it's quite a massive thing now. We're not going to see it in our media, but we're going to see it in our media. And now that we're internet generation, you know, we're millennials. We've been on the internet now for as long as we can remember.
Pretty much.
But even when it was dial-up, like
all the good old days.
The real good old days, like when you didn't have this crap running around on a screen for you.
Yeah.
Like you could actually just log in and watch a YouTube video.
And to be fair, back in those days, you couldn't even load a video, let alone upload one.
No, and you wouldn't have been able to see someone's cock on the screen because the pixels wouldn't have been able to make
you wouldn't have known what you were looking at.
Exactly. So, you know, like, but this is the way of the internet now. This is the way of the world. And, you know, people need to start realising that is it all for show? Is it, you know, what is it? I mean, we're obviously going to upset a few Speed fans here. I mean,
maybe.
And what fan base does he grab? Does he grab teenagers, young teenagers? Does he grab like 9-year-olds, 8-year-olds in his fan base, or are we looking at a higher level? I mean, I don't imagine I see a 30-year-old man saying, "Oh, I love watching Speed." I mean, if you do grow up, like,
yeah,
get a fucking grip.
It does get to the point where you're like watching a teenager basically just get overexcited playing games. It's a little bit weird. And
then, like, even if you were watching his live when that happened, you just saw a dude cock on your screen. I mean, I'm telling you now, I wouldn't be impressed.
No.
Because I'd literally go up from that screen and go, I can't really watch this person anymore because I've just seen his cock.
Yeah, I think it's if he's a sort of guy who's always teasing it, like, oh, might get my cock out, and then it does, you're like, oh, for fuck's sake. But if he's the sort of guy who you're not expecting it, he just, for lack of a better term, whacks out
always
sausage
got
on
one of
camera.
those mates in the pub that would do that.
Yeah, there's always one.
But we're getting kicked out of the pub.
Yeah.
So in the end, it got fucking annoying. It got... Why? So it makes me wonder... 2 questions, and I want to know the 2 answers. 1, why is he always naked when he's streaming? I've never understood why he's topless.
That is weird.
Is he hot in there?
I've never actually noticed that he's topless, but now you say it, every memory I have seen a screenshot of him, he's got no top on.
I mean, if he's really worth that much money, get some fucking air conditioning fitted. We would.
Yeah.
I actually have air conditioning, but it's so fucking loud, you won't hear it. I won't hear us.
I have to have sound damping all around.
I'd love to put it in here and have it for our
It would be nice.
fucking recordings, but we can't. You know, I'm sweating one out now, and like, I don't get topless for you.
No.
So what's going on there? I mean, he needs to get some chest hair as well. I ain't being funny.
I'll tell you what, though, the boys' pod would be very different if we were just sat with our tits out the whole time.
No, it would be completely different. We'd probably be rocking millions of views.
Have a very different audience as well.
We wouldn't even have to be paid for it. But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, what audience is it grabbing? What audience has he grabbed? And what has he done to his audience now? Do his audience now feel, oh, can't watch that, or oh, it's just an accident? All these things happen all the time. No, they don't. They don't happen.
People aren't just accidentally whacking out sausage.
No, and you don't. Yeah, you don't just say you can't. No, if you're processing like that, the intention's it's going to happen. It's just going to happen. I mean, yeah. Why Speed? Even if you get in touch, doubt it. Like, why was your cock out? And 2, why are you never clothed? Like, please
answer the important questions,
I'm
man.
literally baffled.
I would like to know that as well.
There's no much more baffled than that.
My main question, kind of same as yours a little bit, is like, why did it come out so easily? Why was it on the edge of coming out? Do you know what I mean?
It just doesn't make sense.
Why was it so close to be coming out that it actually just flopped out on camera? Like, what? My cock doesn't flop out.
There are people probably that have already tried it, that have tested it, that probably came off that live screen and went,
"How easy is this?"
Hang on, let's do the math. You know, like, come on. No, every man is going to agree with us on this.
Like I say, I'm not sat at my desk
unless you
all day
wear
at work.
those really baggy parachute boxers, which everyone fucking hates, that your dad used to wear.
No one wears them anymore.
Those are the only things that they can, I think, can fall out of. I think they've even made that. It's actually double lined.
Yeah, you get like the swimming trunk lining in there as well now. Yeah.
It's double lined. It's double stitched as well. Like, that would mean, like you say, getting it round a bend.
Like I say, I've never gotten up to make a coffee at work and my cock's falling out. Do you know what I mean?
If we could make a diagram, I'd be able to show you.
Like a 3D CGI recreation.
Like the NCIS are involved, and they're like, like, it's true though. Like,
what? The budget for that? But...
What? No, we haven't got the budget for that. No, that'd have to be laid on like paint.
Yeah,
paint 3D or something.
Yes.
So yes, end of the podcast for this week. Yes, we're back in the echoey
office,
the
studio,
the sweatbox. We don't have the privilege of the casting couch this week.
Very, very warm right
the
now.
back room. So. We hope you've enjoyed this last episode. Well, don't forget we are on Spotify now.
We are on Spotify.
All our highlights on TikTok. If you're not on TikTok, you find us on YouTube.
TikTok's probably the best place, to be honest.
I think it's the best place. We do get a lot of our views and revenue comes through there with our comments and everything like that.
And maybe if I can be bothered, Instagram too at some point.
Instagram.
But we'll see about that.
Oh God, get into the metaverse. I wouldn't be bothered by Instagram.
I don't know if I can bother to do that.
No, Instagram's just photos, isn't it? You can't.
Oh, we've got like reels and stuff on there. It's kind of TikTok-like, so might get us a little bit of a following on there. But I guess we'll see if I've got the willpower to do that. Don't
know. That's Seb's department.
We'll see.
I just host and Seb co-hosts with his editing, so Seb actually brings a lot more to the party than I do.
Yeah, Tom normally feeds me in Red Bull and beer. So
that's it. That's exactly that's how we do it. So thank you for listening, and we hope you've enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
We'd love it.
It's always a good pleasure. And also, if you don't like our stuff, dislike it, because any hate means.
And if you really don't like
we're getting it,
leave us a comment and tell us why.
But please tell us about speed.
Give us that engagement.
We want to know. That's it. We've got to know these 2 questions to answer them.
Yes.
By the end of the year.
By the end of the year.